Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to week one, game one of the Aegis Guardians League. My name is Moose, and I'm joined by my co-caster, my color caster. It's Cursive. How you doing today, sir?
Pretty all right. How are you?
I'm doing well, and we are going to be your casting duo for the foreseeable future. It's going to be really fun, and I'm really excited to see a bunch of these teams coming through. If you guys are familiar with kind of the gold platinum level circuits, you might be familiarized with some of the players that are in the Guardians League. But in this game in particular, we have got a nice best of three series between Oasis Dream and Team Ambition Solstice. There was an emergency substitution over on Oasis Dream, so they did lose their first ban. Their second ban is going to be that Cassiopeia, and then Team Ambition Solstice. They're banning out the Jinx, they're banning out the Trundle, and they're looking to continue to get some of those high priority targets taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. So Solstice is saying, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead, take this Jinx off the table." And the Trundle was something that Cap Crusher was actually playing a lot of. It's not gonna be Kappa Crusher though in this jungle. It's actually gonna be the fill-in Black Eyed Peas. So maybe he play, or maybe they play Trundle as well. So that's gonna be a takeaway. We are gonna go into this first B1 pick right here. It's gonna be the Diana Insta Lock right here. So this is saying, hey, we are trying to make something happen out of this jungle position. I like it a lot, especially the fact that they've already taken away that Jin Zhao and Trundle's already gone off the table as well. So this is already setting up to be a spicy, spicy first pick right here, especially since that Jinx is off the table. And Lilia just got some buffs and everything like that. I mean, she's still a tricky character to play, but if you can play Lilia well, she can absolutely turn team fights around. And seeing how this pairs up with on this TA Solstice team, I want to see like, hey, maybe they want to go for an MF right here because Lilia is one of the few characters that combo really, really well with MF. Just because her sleep makes it so that you can get a full channel bullet time, and they just have to eat it all. No, it's gonna be Sivir though.
For
Sad.
sure. Unfortunately, we did not get the misfortune, but the severe is going to be coming through the extra mobility, through just on the hunt, being able to potentially get into position to be able to get that big sleep, that lilting lullaby, to then be able to get that massive damage from other players on the Solstice squad. But in their own right, Severe and Lily are both going to be pretty high damage dealers if they do get themselves some early kills moving forward. Oasis Dream, however, they've got the opportunity
Mm.
to pick a pretty powerful ADC, and they do so with the Caitlyn. Now, when I see first pick Diana Cursive, I really like to think that maybe the option here is that there is a Yasuo play in the mid lane. Just how powerful the Moonfall into the last breath can be if it is executed upon would be really great. It's not going to be that case. They're going to go with a little bit more of a traditional, more control mage pick with that Syndra. So with that in mind, we've got two really high AP power champions for the Oasis Dream side in their first round of picks.
Right. So they go ahead on the side of Oasis Dream. They lock this Syndra. So RGM is, I would say, there's a lot of uncertainty with their champ pool. So the fact that they take the Syndra, they're saying, hey, we got to get something for RGM in this mid lane. Like I noticed the Syndra, the Oriana, like those were two really, really big key picks for this player, and they wanted to take that right away. This is going to be a karma. The utility, people are actually starting to catch on to how powerful utility is. Like we knew how powerful enchanters were, but there had been a lot of indecision about how strong karma was, and now we see, having that mantra early on, level one, being able to just put out a lot more damage than most other players, most other champs in the bot side is just huge. And I just want to say, on the side of Oasis Dream, I think they fell for just a smidge of bait. Now, this isn't necessarily a counter, but Sivir into Kate can do quite well. Now, I was thinking maybe they're going to go for an Alistar on the side of Oasis Dream. Like you go ahead and you lock an Alistar right here with that Caitlyn, and it just nullifies the Sivir in general. And I will say, Vandrel on this side of Oasis Dream, he is, or they are, such a great versatile support player in general. And I like that TA Solstice has taken away Shin and Mundo. So on that top side, Rindo had been such a big part of what I had seen from Oasis Dream anyway, where he plays or they play tanks, they play engaged champs, and getting getting this team going, I felt was going to come down to a lot on the shoulders of Rindo. I'm sorry it took me a while to get that out right there. Um, and yeah, but we got there though. We got there. So they
For
went
sure.
ahead and took away some power picks, and now on the side of Oasis Dream, they're rounding it out with the Alawi and Cho'Gath ban as well. So this is definitely pinching the top side, and I feel like both players on each of these teams on the top side are really, really strong. So it's good that they're going ahead and taking away all these picks. And now that the champ pools have gotten a lot narrower, we're going to see what they have in the tank.
Exactly. You know, you hit the nail on the head there. You look at all of the bans right now for both sides. Renekton, Shen, Mundo, Cho'Gath, and Alawi are off the table. And remember, this is a gold, platinum level tournament, a level league for these players. And so, you know, we are expecting some pocket picks. We're expecting maybe some out of the box options that we wouldn't necessarily see in pro play or in higher league drafts. But that doesn't mean that you can't then disregard some of the really powerful picks that are in the meta right now. The Ornn is left open. The Ornn is going to be available. Now, it's a tough pick because you have to, in order to really be effective, like in order to get those ornaments, you got to be level 13, you got to be level 14, and you have to be able to get to that late game state. And so Oasis Dream with the Nautilus as well. They've got a good front line, but they're really focusing in on to getting the damage for this Diana, this Syndra, this Caitlyn, so that they can have a really strong mid game, maybe even a really powerful late game. Because if you look over at Team Ambition Solstice, I mean, Severe can be pretty late game, but they don't necessarily have enough to keep up with the power that a Diana, Caitlyn, Syndra do or combo can provide. But instead, Team Ambitious Solstice, they are coming right out of the gate and they're coming in fast. High mobility, high movement speed, and they're going to be pairing it with the great initiation of the Malphite. So you have a great ball delivery system from the Malphite. You've got on the hunt to increase movement speed along with the mantras from Karma to just increase the movement speed of the entire team. So you're just trying to be that bullet train right to the back line, get the Caitlyn and Syndra out of the fight. And once you do that, there's really no stopping Solstice from taking a team fight and potentially taking really big neutral objectives in the process.
Right. Like I feel like each of these teams came forward and said, "Hey, we have a game plan. We know exactly how we want to play this game." And I just want to say both of these drafts are very, very, very solid. Like they're very strong. Now you might say, "Hey, how they match up against each other, there might be a little bit of a, oh, I like this a little bit more into this." But on paper, if we just look and isolate each of these teams, like both of these drafts are really, really solid in general. When we're looking at TA Solstice, you're looking at something with a lot of utility, so much utility between that Oriana Karma and the Sivir that you spoke about. Like that's a lot of utility to get through when we're looking at shields, speed ups, and damage, and CC as well with the Lilia Ori Malphite combo. Like that is a ton of CC. And then when we're looking at the side of Oasis Dream, right now, I want to say I feel like they basically drafted for lane in general when we're looking at Kate, Syndra, even Ornn can be a really solid laner in general. There's so many memes about Ornn. I'm not going to go ahead and repeat any of them. But I feel like each of these teams said, hey, this is what we're going to focus on. This is what we're going for. And I want to say, if I'm either one of these teams, if I'm a coach or if I'm a player in general, I would walk away and say, hey, you know what? We won this draft. Like, we absolutely got every tool that we wanted to. And on the side of Solstice, I feel like the Sivir was actually a calculated pick. They said, hey, we'll ban out the Jinx, and we want you to pick Caitlyn. We want you to pick this Caitlyn on the side of Oasis Dream. And Oasis Dream was like, yeah, we'll take Kate. She's like the second best AD carry. How can we pass that up? So I want to see if this actually works out for Solstice, though. So when you go for plays like this, it either makes you look like a genius, right? Or it makes you look like an idiot. And we'll see if the Sivir pick works out. Like I like Sivir a lot. I actually pick her into Cape 2, and I know how well that shield can be into those traps. But it's one of those things where you have to really be on the ball about timing it, especially with that Nautilus hook. Like if you time it well with the Nautilus hook, Nautilus means absolutely nothing. This is kind of why I wanted to see Alistar in this comp, because the headbutt pulverize is just notorious for shutting down the Sivir. So I
Mhm.
feel like both of these teams are really, really solid. And going into this game one, first week, right? Like you want to get that win. You want to start off with a good pace, and I feel like they each got tools that they're probably going to be pretty confident about.
Yeah, they both have opportunities for, really strong positions in the game. We'll have to see where the advantages go for. I mean, obviously, early game jungle is going to be really important, and so I'm really expecting the Lilia for Team Ambition Solstice to have a really powerful early game. The buffs that she's gotten has really made her a much more prominent and powerful early game jungler, and then once she gets level 6, she's very, very, very potent and can really pack a punch for, really a team that doesn't necessarily have a lot of mobility and ways to escape over on the side of Oasis Dream. But with that being said, we don't know what's going to happen until we actually get into game number 1. I think we are in the draft in the game, and we should be about ready to get into the 3-minute delay. Before we do that, though, just want to do just a quick overview of the Guardians League. If you guys have not done or watched Aegis and their rosters and their leagues before, this split for Guardian League, this winter split, we've got 7 weeks of group stages. We got 16 teams, 7 weeks of group stages, and a round robin best of 3 for all of these games. Bottom 2 teams after those 7 weeks in each league. So there's the Zon schedule, and then there's the Piltover schedule. So the Zon League, Piltover League, the bottom 2 teams. So 4 teams out of those 6 teams are going to get eliminated. Then there's 2 weeks of play-ins. 4 teams out of that will be eliminated, leaving us 8 remaining teams on the roster for a 3-week playoff brawl for the first place prize. So, with that being said, week 1, always important to be able to get your first win out of the gate, get yourself into the top 4 teams in your division. We'll have to see who's going to be able to take game 1 here. We've got Team Ambitious Solstice versus Oasis Dream coming up, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back, and the winter split for the Aegis Guardians League has begun. Moose here joined with Cursive for game one between Team Ambition Solstice and Oasis Dream. And so, Cursive, we were talking about it in the break. How important it's going to be for some of these skill shots to land for both supports here. They've got to be able to both support but perform pretty well in the bottom lane if they want to be able to get their ADCs off to a good start.
Right, exactly. And the thing with Nautilus Kate is you want to have a kill in. You want to be able to create a lot of pressure all in early on, level one, level two, level three, and get snowballing, right? Like if Caitlyn is snowballing, she is so oppressive, so difficult to deal with just the amount of range and poke that she's able to dish out. But at the same time, when we're looking at the side of TA Solstice, what they did was say, hey, you know what? We have tools in the early
Minions
game
have
that
spawned.
directly contradict what you want to do on the side of Oasis Dream. We have Sivir, who normally you usually don't spec into that shield until level three, but generally speaking, I usually try to take it at level two when I'm in a matchup like this because you know how oppressive that Nautilus can be if you actually get that lead onto them. So Sivir's probably going to have to take a shield at level two. Karma is, I mean, she can be super tough to actually get on top of once she gets her shield as well. And right off the bat, there's already a little bit of trading going on in this mid side. And if you're wondering about how the Syndra Ori, I know oh, okay, Death Brush here.
Little bit of damage, maybe, and a lot of damage onto Whippy as he gets hit by everything and the kitchen sink. He'll flash through, gonna get rooted by the Nautilus. Vandal with the save there, and a Black Eyed Peas with the level 2 Lunar Rush will come in to take first blood. It'll go over to Vandal and the Nautilus, and Black Eyed Peas will take the kill onto Grand Fate. What a save there by Vandal.
Oh, baby, we're playing ball now. Look at that. Vandal right there goes in. Whippy has to flash over the wall to get away from the damage that they broke out on the side of TA Solstice. And I gotta say, I gotta commend them for this sort of death rush that they tried to set up. Unfortunately, it didn't work for them. Immediately, Black Eyed Peas rotates down and bam, gets the kill right there. The nice part about this though is that Vandal on this Nautilus did get that final tick with the ignite to pick up the kill. Luckily it didn't go on to Whippy, but hey, Whippy burned the flash, burned the heal, already had to use a pot, but did get 2 assists from that as well. So they're gonna go ahead and try to push this out as quick as they can, and maybe try to get a back here soon. And yeah, Whippy's gonna go ahead, immediately picks up those boots as well. Unfortunately, didn't really have enough to pick up a long sword or anything, so that's the sad part about it. But boots with Caitlyn didn't take fleet either. It looks like, I want to say that appears to, hold on.
That's lethal tempo.
Yeah, I wanted to say it looked like lethal tempo from here. So yeah, not fleet. So just gonna be able to run down any time that it looks like Syndra or not is going in on this engage.
Yeah, but now for Oasis Dream, like, you do have a little bit of an early game win condition here. Black Eyed Peas is going to be a formidable power, once they're able to get to level 6. And with that first kill, they're off to a great start. First blood means an extra 400 gold in their pocket. There's several different build paths that they could go for. Obviously, the Hextech Rocket Belt to be able to get that extra mobility. Could maybe even go for a Night Harvester if they're feeling extra frisky there. So already, the showing of a really strong early beginning there for Oasis Dream. If they can continue to keep up that pressure, that will be great. But for now, both these teams are just waiting for jungle help, and it looks like there is going to be some coming in the form of a deer, a female deer, a doe. Lilia waiting in the wings, but unfortunately doesn't realize that the ward is there, and they are acknowledging their presence, but still being a little bit frisky here on the side of Oasis Dream. Gonna get hit by the Q, not going to get hit by it, so just kind of playing a game of chicken here.
This is really weird, the fact that they even walked up even a little. Like right here, all I would do is just be like, okay, we know your jungler's there, the wave is frozen, we'll just back, like we can just reset right here. And okay, gank in the top side, unfortunately doesn't work out. So a lot of interesting things here, and Ori's gonna have to back here soon as well.
Yeah, so with the just ton of time that was unfortunately kind of wasted here, it's going to be the Swirl Seed landing, but no kill on the side of Team Ambition Solstice. They don't get anything out of that gank, and now that the presence of the Lilia is known in the bottom lane, it just gives this Diana more of an opportunity to get further in the lead. So really, I mean, that was unfortunately for Team Ambition Solstice, a big waste of time that didn't really result in anything. Another potential gank onto the Malphite, gonna get hit with the Lunar Rush, but is a tanky boy, should be just fine and will be able to walk away.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're looking at, and you talked about the Diana already, but yeah, this Diana already picking up a little bit of APR, and I want to see how this Diana transitions this. Who are you going to actually gank for? Like, I was thinking, hey, Rindo on the top side, maybe you gank for him or them. I felt like Rindo was such a huge part of the overall success. Okay, mid lane, passive
Little
flash
bit
away.
little bit of damage, so a good flash there, big play now. Orianna not going to be able to have that extra safety, but both the champions, both Thunder McBuster and Random Gold Player, both having to lose their flash, so that could be a potential for a gank for either Kolev or Black Eyed Peas. But with that being said, the gold lead is now starting to get a little bit scary. 6 minutes into the game, a 1.3k gold lead on the side of Oasis Dream. You got to think, if that's going to start to really be a point of concern as the game continues to progress, because that's what you want if you're Oasis Dream right now. You don't want to let Team Ambition Solstice get any sort of really good scaling potential. You don't want to let, this Severe get too out of hand. You don't want to let this Lilia, this Orianna get too out of hand. And so far, they've been contained in the first 6.5 minutes of the game.
Exactly. Sivir, Oriana, like they scale really, really well, right? So the fact that Sivir says, "Hey, we know that we need to go crit here, right? It's not going to be any lethality or anything like that. They're going strictly crit. They're saying, hey, we're just going to straight up outscale you. And once Sivir gets ahead, she can be really difficult to deal with as well because her Q damage does so much. That ricochet damage does so much, both sides, right? And okay, trading in the mid side, nice damage. And when we're looking at the way that Ori scales, she outscales the Syndra as well. So, okay, Shockwave.
A little bit of, you're going to have to cast this one. Go for it.
Oh, sorry, am I my stream actually just froze up.
Yeah, my stream froze up as well. Oh no. We're gonna get that
Uh-oh.
fixed here in just a second. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure that you guys can see it as well. Let me check on the Twitch feed. It looks like it's frozen there on the Twitch feed as well. So let me see if I can get something figured out here on the side of Seema and Samter. Let's get them on the mic.
Tell you what I will do though. I am in I'll give a little update right here. So, essentially, right? Here we go. Now, this is going to be, you guys aren't going to see this yet. We'll see where we're at. But okay, so the dragon was taken by the Caitlyn and the Nautilus, right? And then we saw a gank happen on the top side as well. And then that's when the stream just froze right there. So this is unfortunate right here. But when we're looking at how this Diana is pathing around and everything like that, it looks like the gank is going to be happening on the mid side. Ori just barely stepped up. Her flash is down. She just burned TP to get back to lane. She went and got Mertres as well. So they are going to be able to, you know, actually try to live through some of this burst. But we have to say, hey, if RGP with this Syndra, with this Diana, if everything does land, I don't think Mertres is going to be enough, unfortunately, to save this Oriana. Maybe they get bursted down through the shield as well with the ball. So it's going to be pretty interesting going into this. The fact that Ori is probably dead to rights, and then Cole on the Lilia has actually invaded into Oasis Dreams topside jungle, trying to take away the blue, setting up vision there as well. And yeah, it's looking pretty solid for Solstice, well, at least for the bot side. But everywhere else around the map, it's really struggling.
Yeah, so real quick, folks, we're going to take a quick intermission, just get everything back to normal. The game is paused on our end. Give us a second. We'll go ahead and we'll take a quick break, make sure that everything is good, and then we'll come back and we will get everything going. So just stay with us, folks. We'll be right back. All right, folks. Sorry about that. Appreciate your guys' patience, but we are back and we are live. Appreciate you guys and your patience here. It's week one of a new league, of a new split, and there is always going to be this kind of back and forth shenanigans that come through, but everything will get figured out and will be okay sooner rather than later. If you guys are just joining us, we're about 7 minutes into the Oasis Dream Team Ambition Solstice matchup. And we get to see Kola being able to take a first kill, or his first kill, as this Lilia up against random gold player in the Syndra.
Yeah, just a well-timed executed gank right there with Cole. Thundermink Buster played that so well. You took a lot of damage from that scatter the week that Syndra has, and then immediately turns it around with the shockwave. And Cole had already went for a deep side invade on the blue, rotates over through the river, actually set up a deep vision ward over there as well. So nice job to pick up that kill in response. And look at this, the waves are pushed in on the bot side. This isn't really necessarily the way you want the wave to go with Whippy on this Caitlyn. But we'll see if the Love Hitman and Grand I don't know how to say that other part. We'll see how they actually do this. And look at this, Cole is looking for another wraparound gank. Really creative ganking by Cole here.
Yeah, trying to be able to just continue to keep the pressure going in these lanes with Lilting Lullaby now secured. Looking to find Swirl Seeds, looking to be able to find the initiation, especially since Vandal and Whippy are extremely low. They've got to be careful here. They're going to get the Lilting Lullaby on it to Vandal. He is now a sleeping dove and should be the target, as Whippy is also going to be very low, but it's not going to be enough. A great teleport from Rindo Kobashi is going to be able to keep them alive.
Yeah, well-timed TP right there. Whippy was that close to dying, right? And just barely lives through it. So they are going to miss some of this wave as we see Love Hitman trying to push that in as quick as he can. Gonna go ahead and hand off the blue buff right there. Excuse me, sorry about that. And yeah, this is 2-1 in favor of Oasis Dream. They're up about not quite 1k, but when we look at how this next dragon is going to spawn in 2 minutes, we already see that positioning of the vision around that next dragon, which is going to be a mountain dragon as well. So you see that they are already trying to set up okay, and yeah, we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, and before we get any further, Moonfall's gonna land onto Feathers and Fur, a little bit of damage onto this Malphite, but he will have to use Unstoppable Force to get away. And with that being said, folks, as you guys are well aware on the stream, it is definitely choppy. We are having some issues still with the client. Of course, second day of a new patch, going to be really difficult sometimes to get everything situated and figured out. So we're going to take another quick break. We're going to see if we can just get this resolved once and for all, and then we'll be back to finish this matchup. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, we are back. Aegis Guardians League Week 1, Game 1. Shout out to our producers, Seema and Samter. Thank you guys so much for helping us, as well as Ivar, trying to be able to solve these issues. If you guys are in the production scene, if you guys have involved yourself in, a League of Legends streaming or casting or anything like that, you know how difficult technology can be at points. And unfortunately, today, that has led us to, unfortunately, having some issues with being able to watch some of the juicier bits of the game here, Cursive. But 14 to 11, we're at soul points for Oasis Dream, but we just saw Team Ambition Solstice win a pretty big fight, which puts them back to within 2.4k gold.
Right, so it is going to be that Hex Tech Dragon coming up here in a minute, right? So this is going to be the next big team fight that breaks out, and okay, we might already actually get a fight because everybody's already posturing here. I was going to talk about whoever wins this is probably going to have to get the Baron next as well. So if Oasis Dream gets this Hex Tech Soul right here, I would say, hey, immediately go straight to Baron because that's going to be your win con. You do absolutely get outscaled, and the way that Solstice is actually posturing in position around this Drake, it doesn't look like they want to give this up. So you have a choice to make. I like what Oasis Dream is doing right here. They're marching it down mid. I would actually go to Baron right here, or what they're doing is forcing Solstice to actually come to them, and I dig it.
Yeah, so they're trying to be able to get priority in mid lane so that they can make the choice. The shockwave's going to
Oh,
land on it too. Whippy is the
let's
target,
go.
and he gets hit by the unstoppable force, but he is still alive, and a beautiful moonfall there by Black Eyed Peas will take Grand Fight out of the game. However, Black Eyed Peas is now in trouble, has no way to be able to get out of it, and will fall next. So, one for one trading up here for Team Ambition Solstice, jungle for support.
Yeah, that could have went so worse for either side, right? There were some missed ultimates right there on each tank on the top side. And look at this, they're on a ward. They know exactly where everybody is, and it's not over.
Yeah, they're trying to be able to go for it again, and Teleport is ready for Thunder McBusters as well. He does not have Shockwave, but it is a 4v3 situation. Now, there is no Smite on the side of Oasis Dream, so unfortunately, this doesn't look like that is a fight that they want to take. However, we are getting a pause, so it's not just us, Cursive, that we're having issues with the stream, but it was also the players as well in the game. Gotta love a new patch being difficult on us for sure. Does look like Cursive did, I think, maybe accidentally left the Discord call, so it doesn't have any comms on it, so that's okay. We'll wait for him to return. But regardless, okay, so let's kind of take stock of where we're at right now. We got the game paused, so this does give us a little bit of a reprieve. 48.3k gold for Oasis Dream, 15 kills to 12 after that last fight. Grand Fate is back online, but Black Eyed Peas is still a little bit behind, about 12 seconds until he respawns. However, we are reaching that crucial point when the power of the ornaments is coming into play. Rindo Kobayashi has been able to unlock two of these augmented mythic items for both random gold player and Black Eyed Peas. The enhanced Hex Tech Rockabelt, the enhanced Sunfire Aegis, and the advanced Luden's Tempest are all now online for the Syndra and the Diana to get even just more damage into it. Right now, though, it does look like we are seeing a couple of bounties on both teams. Looks like there was Whippy now, 3-1 and 6, has the Gale Force, has the Storm Razor as well to try to be able to stay a little bit safer. But then on top of that, we also get to see the Syndra, random gold player, got Shadow Flame for second item, but is still a little ways away before getting that third and very important Zonia's Hourglass. Will not have that available for the next fight. Cursive, you are back. Welcome back, sir.
Yo, that was wicked weird. Like right when they paused, Discord crashed on me. So like maybe they knew what was happening. They're like, "Oh man, we got to get Cursive in here though. Let's go ahead and pause this right here, guys." That's not really what happened. Whippy actually DC'd. I'm sure you already covered it. I missed everything that you said. Thank you so much for handling that. It's super weird that all these problems are coming up right now. But hey, that's week one, day one, I guess. And I, And I was just gonna say, looking at this right here, I want to see if anybody is gonna set up and take the Baron after this dragon. That's all I'm gonna end it with.
For sure. And so the woes of production issues continue. We are going to change some of the scenes once again. So we're gonna back out just for another second while we got this pause, and then we'll be right back to finish the conclusion of game one here in just a second. Stay right there. All right, folks, we are back, and hopefully for the last technical delay of the game, Moose and Cursive here for the conclusion of game one. We are now 30 minutes into the game. Whippy, unfortunately, having some issues with some connectivity problems, but it looks like that was resolved as well. But because of that last fight that resulted in Black Eyed Peas' death, it's going to be a Team Ambition Solstice Dragon take, denying the very powerful Hextech Soul from getting into Oasis Dream's hands.
Yeah, exactly. Like that Hextech Soul is so big, and it essentially just got conceded right there. And if I am Oasis Dream, I'd be a little bit worried if I was them, because when you're looking at the Solstice site, they actually drafted. I talked about this in draft, but they actually outscale, right? So there was a lead that Oasis Dream had, and they were snowballing super well. Unfortunately, they were fighting against Solstice, and we were fighting against like technology. So we didn't get a chance to see their snowball that they had going. Unfortunately, they basically got caught up on. So this Sivir, even though you might say, hey, you know what, the Sivir is 245, but when you look at this, that's three fully completed items right there with the Gale Force, the Ma, and the Essence Reaver. So the Sivir is absolutely the win con at this point, and the fact that they have so many different ways to not just protect the Sivir, but also set up engages as well. So when you're looking at this, it's all about Black Eyed Peas, who you had spoke about earlier when they did get that snowball rolling. Is can Black Eyed Peas on this Diana do what assassins do, right? Blow up those carries. If you blow up Hitman, you automatically win if you are Oasis Dream. And I love the posturing that we're seeing with with this Baron take. They're trying to clear up vision. They're fighting over the vision because they know, hey, you know what? We still have 3 minutes until this next Hex Tech Drake. Like we need to make sure that we're in position. If anybody mispositions either side, either team, we need to be forcing this Baron because at this point you have to say, hey, Oasis Dream, you were ahead. You got caught up on by the Sivir right now, and you need to force something. You need to force the pace. You're at 30 minutes. So if this game goes any longer, like you have about maybe a 5 minute window right here. And you can see the damage of the Sivir right there. That was one Ricochet W that basically just cleared out the wave. So if you're Oasis Dream, you have basically 5 minutes until you're just outscaled at this point.
Scout of the Week lands on Takoa, but they don't follow up onto killing the Lilia there. That could have been a good take for them had they been able to get it. But because like this is a gold league, we are seeing the advantages that some players are able to get. Look at the CS difference
Mm-hmm.
in the top lane and in the bot lane here. The Love Hitman 288 CS has an 82 CS advantage. Like to put that in perspective, that is more than an item's worth of gold that Love Hitman has just in his bank because he's been able to out CS Whippy throughout the entirety of the match. Same thing can be said for Rindo Kobayashi. Has an extra item. That's the Fimbleminter. That's the Abyssal Mask on this Ornn that Feathers and Fur doesn't have because he's so behind in CS at that point. But at the end of the day, he also has 8 assists, Feathers and Fur does, and he hasn't died yet. So, he is performing pretty well. But you said it correctly now. The Baron Dance has begun. Teleports are online for all 3 members of both teams that have them, Feathers and Fur, Thunder Big Busters, and Rindo Kobayashi. So they can go for that and go for some split pushing. But then also you have, all of these lanes. You want to be able to keep that priority going. You want to just deny the progression of these minion waves to make sure that you are prepared for a potential Baron take. But surprisingly, neither team wants to go for this, and Kolev going for that golden, unfortunately doesn't get punished for it, but that could have been super sus had someone saw that, and Kolev might have died there twice now in the last 5 minutes. Kolev could have potentially gotten obliterated and could have seen Oasis Dream take the Baron there.
Yeah, Cole is just like, oh, I know the camera's on me right now. Like, I should just style it. He's like, goal's golden. No, that's not really what happened. Vandro had actually kind of walked up to set up a ward. So Cole got extremely lucky right there. And look at this. They're setting up a death rush, trying to actually force a fight right here over this dragon. Now, this is one of the things about macro. Macro, in my opinion, is actually, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's something that is, I would say it's highly overrated in terms of how complex it is. Like, it's really simple. What is the easiest advantage that you can get right there with the highest upside? Now, in this situation, if you lose this fight right here over this dragon, like you're just going to lose the game. So if I was Oasis Dream right here, because I know that I've gotten outscaled, or I'm sorry, wait, yeah. I'm right. Sorry about that. If I'm Oasis Dream, I would actually just say, hey, let's actually just turn to the Baron. We can give over this dragon right here. Give us the Baron, and then we can actually try to siege. But here goes the TP coming in, and TA Solstice is not ready to give this up. Obviously, they're not going to give up Soul. So we have the dance going on around this dragon, and here goes that horn.
All right, we got the call. The Forge guy going to land some damage on the Thunder McBusters, but it's not going to be enough. Whippy will take the Hextech Soul for the side of Oasis Dream, and Kolob will fall as well. A beautiful scatter of the week from Lander. Gold player will take the kill on to Brand Fate, and that's another kill for Black Eyed Peas, taking down Love Hitman. The only member of Team Ambition Solstice to survive is Thunder McBuster. It is a 4-for-1 trade. The Hextech Soul goes towards Oasis Dream, and that is a big win for this blue side squad.
Oh boy, disaster strikes right there. Right as I start praising the Solstice squad, everything, it's like one of those Darwin things where it's like anything that could go wrong just went wrong right there for the side of Solstice. Everything whiffed. They only got the Caitlyn down. Caitlyn is going to complete this IE as well. And now look at this. They have this Hextech Soul. They immediately get that tower and turn straight to the Baron. Caitlyn is up. It's going to rejoin. Well, Caitlyn is going to be up in 5 seconds. And now Sivir picks up the IE as well. So that fight for that dragon went so bad. And the fact is, Oasis Dream just capitalized on the mistakes. They said, hey, you know what? You guys are not prepared for this fight. You're here, but you're not ready to fight us, right? and they weren't on the same page. Like maybe it was a comms issue, maybe it was just a pressure issue. When you're in week one, you don't have a lot of time to like build up synergy necessarily. They're probably used to playing solo queue, right? So it's one of those things you don't know what your teammates are going to do. So the Oriana, I would say, with this depth cap, the Ludens, the Archangels, level 17, Love Hitman on the server level 17 as well. Look at this. Whippy is actually 2 levels down, right? So Whippy on this Caitlyn is 2 levels down. So this is all about like how much damage this Sivir can do, how much the Oriana can do. And when you whiff everything, well, you're the biggest win con right now for your team. They're relying on you to carry. And I just want to say, like, you can learn a lot from these mistakes, though. Like, yeah, you should be like, oh man, I can't believe I misplayed that so hard. But recognize where your mistakes were. Like, were you not ready? Were you not prepared? And look at this on the bot side too. So there's going to be orange chase down through here. So I just want to see what Oasis Dream is going to do to try to close out this game, because we're looking at almost 40 minutes. They have the soul, and they're posturing around this vision, trying to clear it out for the Baron. And I just want to see him start it up.
Yeah, right now, I mean, they do have that Hextech Soul. Remember, Hextech Soul gives the static Shiv passive. Love Hitman gonna get some damage onto Vandral as he misses the dredge line. That is the play that they wanted, and they will be able to get the kill on to the Nautilus. Teleport is coming in from Rindo Kobayashi, but they do not want to attempt a 4v5, a misplay from the Oasis Dream support is giving Team Ambition Solstice the confidence they need to maybe attempt Baron themselves, and they are on it at the moment. Whippy is just trying to clear this mid wave and is not there, and they are not in position to try to go for a fight just yet. Random Gold player is going to need a really big scout of the week. Black Eyed Peas is going to need a great Moonfall. 3,100 damage, 1,500 damage. A great Moonfall is going to be on all 5 into the Shockwave from Thunder McBusters, but some Goldens coming through, but it's not going to be enough. A huge scout of the week for Random Gold player as well, as Whippy cleans it up. It is a triple kill for this Syndra, and Whippy takes the ace. It is Oasis Dream taking that fight to the grave for Team Ambition Solstice, and that just might be GG.
Yeah, they have the wave. They're pushing it down, and yeah, if they can clear this out quickly, they can absolutely end. The death timer's 35 seconds, so this is a lot of time. But it's just Caitlyn. Ornn doesn't do damage, but look at this; it's still going down so quickly. Yeah, they can absolutely end right there. Shout out to Black Eyed Peas on that engage. Going for it, gets that huge moonfall onto like 4 or 5 people, and immediately the follow-up is there, and that's what you want to see. Oasis Dream looking like they're going to end this game. I don't know if Grand Fate can actually stop this.
What they are stopping, they are not continuing to keep up. With Kolev's now respawn, and with Thunder McBustard and Love Hitman back online as well, they have decided to back off, and they will be able to get the mid lane inhibitor and one of the Nexus towers. The base for Team Ambition Solstice is in shambles, but it is still alive. So just because Team Ambition Solstice got the Baron, they did not win that team fight. They are now behind in about a 4-ish thousand gold point, and they now have to contend with these super minions going through the mid lane. And with Elder Dragon spawning in a minute 14, that might just be the fight and the win condition that Oasis Dream needs to finish the job.
Yeah, Oasis Dream. I mean, they are flirting with failure here. You know, I keep talking about this outscale thing, but it is very, very real. Like, make no mistake about it. Like, the longer this game goes, the bigger chance that Solstice has to actually come back. Now, there's some positioning errors that are coming across on Solstice that Oasis Dream is just pouncing on every single time. There's some vision control issues that essentially Oasis Dream is just capitalizing on. When we saw with that Baron right there, the reason why that went so well for Oasis Dream is Solstice actually didn't have any vision really in that bot side jungle around that blue, so they didn't know who all was there. So immediately, you know, these are one of those things when we're talking about, okay, and look at this on the bot side, they're looking for a fight right here.
Vandral's going to be able to dodge the Swirl Seed Feathers, and Fur not feeling confident to go for the Unstoppable Forces, so they don't decide to go for it. Now, Cursive, this is potentially the last team fight of this 40-minute game. We've seen everything, ups and downs, in the very little time that we've actually been able to watch this matchup. It's now going to all be into for this Elder Drake, and Kolev dies even before it spawns. It is huge for Oasis Dream as they now have the man advantage and the smite advantage. They're looking to take the Elder Dragon, and now Team Ambition Solstice, they're going for the Hail Mary. They're going to try to potentially end the game by pushing forward to mid lane, but I don't think they have enough time. They don't have minions, and they don't have any pressure, so they have to back, and now they're going to have to deal with 5 members of Oasis Dream with the Hextech Soul, with Elder Dragon, as they go on their death march attempting to finish the job.
Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be a battle right here, and I just spoke about the vision control that they had, and okay, this is definitely fighting.
All right, Black Eyed Peas going to go golden.
Oh,
Will
God.
fall Feathers and Fur with a nice unstoppable force, but random gold player using the Elder Drake and getting the damage. There's the pops. Whippy will get a double kill. It's now Thunder McBusters, the only member of Solstice alive. Kolev will come back online. They don't continue as we get the Lilting Lullaby onto 2. McBusters gonna get a nice shockwave, but it's not gonna be enough to get Whippy down just yet. Vandrel is now low. Call of the Forge God's gonna land. Kolev will get the kill, but it will be Rindo that kills everyone except this Orianna, but can't finish the job and is thwarted from taking this Nexus once again.
Okay, well, I thought they were gonna end right there. It looks like they want to fight some more. They're like, we don't like towers here, guys. We don't like the towers. Those towers, we don't want that. Like, we want to get kills. And it got turned around really, really bad right there. Almost ace on the side of Oasis Dream. The Elder is about to time out here. Actually, I believe it did just time out. Nope, they still got a little bit of time on the Ornn, actually. So when we're looking at TA Solstice right here, the Orianna Shockwave came up so big right there with the Death Cap, with that Luden's going to be working on the Void Staff next, and Cole just went like straight YOLO right there. They were like, yo, like we have to stop this this siege that Oasis Dream had going. Like we have to shut this down right here. Cole just goes in. I'm like, oh man, I actually dig this because a lot of time teams wait and wait and wait, and Cole was just like, nope. We got to do something. And Sivir just now completes that LDR. This is huge. So Sivir has the Gale Force, the IE, and that LDR. This is the trifecta that every AD carry loves. Sivir is now full build. So I would say at this point, yeah, you've been outscaled if you're Whippy. It doesn't matter what items you have. He still hasn't actually completed his last item anyway. But Oasis Dream, controlling this vision, it just keeps coming up that they are able to make something happen out of it. And this is why vision control is so big and competitive in solo queue as well. When you have vision, you're able to make more plays. And that's also the reason why they got that Elder Dragon right there. So if I am TA Solstice right here, I'm saying, hey, I know exactly where our flaws are. We don't control vision at all around the map. Like we set up defensive vision, but we don't take time to clear it out.
All right, with the Baron spawning in 10 seconds, they may want to try to go for that as your play, but Vandrel going to miss another dredge line, having some issues being able to connect to those. That's pretty big if they can't continue to get those through. However, Lilting Lullaby is going to get pop called. The Forge God will come in, but the knockup will not land onto anybody. So, a couple of ultimates used, but no one falling just yet. Black Eyed Peas is looking for that big moonfall that he had in that last Baron fight. But with inhibitors down on the side of Team Ambition Solstice, they've got to worry about the super minions pouring in from the bot side of the Rift. And so, Baron is the call. At level 18, 44 minutes into the game, it gets melted. So, it's going to be Oasis Dream now with Baron. They are now going to try attempt number 3 at finishing this game. Try to go for the Death March and try to finish the job.
Yeah, and Orianna, you know, just completed the Death Cap, still working on the Void Staff. The Shockwave at this moment is doing 850-ish, we'll say, damage. So that's still a pretty big chunk right there. That would be, Syndra's sitting at 2200 right here. So you definitely need this Void Staff if you want to be able to chunk through everybody. And as they're actually pushing up with this Baron, I think they should just go in right here if you're Aces Dream. Like I wouldn't want to wait around for the Orianna to actually pick up the shock or the Void Staff for the Shockwave. So and Syndra with the scatter or unleash power on hers, she's actually doing, oh my goodness, 24,000 or 2,400. So she can absolutely one shot anybody that they want. So random gold player with the Syndra does have the unleash power available, and I would say, hey, you know what? Just go ahead and use that on Love Hitman. Make sure we get that spell shield out the way. Immediately burst him down with that ultimate, and you should be all right. I mean, that is gonna proc that maw, but it should be enough to kill as long as you land one more because Sivir only has 2,000 HP.
They finally are able to get that inhibitor down. They've now got open inhibitors in both mid lane and bottom lane, but the super minions are pushing through in both those lanes, as well as Rindo Kobayashi in the top lane. They're looking for all the inhibitors going down. They are not yet going towards the Nexus. It is a 46-minute game, and they are still playing so careful. Vandal is getting chunked. They're going to find some damage on to
Oof,
Rindo as well, but a great scatter of the week is going to land on the 3 because Up Force lands, and the pop will go in onto Grand Fate into the knockups as well. The Moonfall is there. The damage is coming through, and they finally get the angle that they want. Black Eyed Peas will take down Thunder McBuster, as well as the Love Hitman will die to the ace in the hole. There's the ace, and there's the 47-minute win for this Oasis Dream Squad. Doesn't matter if it takes 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 48 minutes. As long as the nexus of the other team falls, you win the game. So congratulations to Oasis Dream. They've just won game one, though. That was just game one, Cursive. We still have, at the very least, one more game left to play in this best of three series.
Exactly. And I mean, they got it done right there. Every time TA Solstice made a mistake, every time TA Solstice positioned just a little bit wrong, you saw Oasis Dream snap it up and just capitalized on it. So that was the thing. Solstice just had too many unforced errors, and Oasis Dream just took it and said, hey, thank you so much for that. We'll take that game one win.
Right, exactly. So a really solid performance there. We didn't get to see the mid game, unfortunately, but you have to think just the semi snowball that was created from the early game in favor of Oasis Dream that was kind of mitigated thanks to some
Mhm.
great plays from Kolev, some great lilting lullabies, but unfortunately just not able to get all the way going and able to finish the job. It's just going to result in just enough neutral objectives taken that at some point you just get out damaged and you just get outworked. And when you're at a 48, 47-minute game, Baron buff isn't necessarily the strongest, but it does still bring power to it. The game has to end at some point, and so they're finally able to get that big neutral objective. They're finally able to get the great scatter of the week from a random gold player that was able to get everyone out of the way, or not out of the way, but stunned into the Call of the Forge God. And so that was the information that they needed, and that was the play that they wanted. However, we still have a best of three to complete. With If Team Ambition Solstice wants to finish the job, they've got to win both games two and games three. We're gonna get the draft set up, and we'll be right back for game two in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Everybody panic! Hold on! I'm about to say something really cool. 3, 9, and lift off! No one dies screaming without me. I feel like I forgot to shoot something. You're starting to bore me. She's such a loser, always ready to cry. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, everybody, we are back and we are live. Aegis Guardians Week 1, Game 2 between Team Ambition Solstice and Oasis Dream. Oasis Dream was able to take Game 1 in a 47-minute matchup, and now they're looking to be able to get the clean sweep against Solstice and put us to bed early here, Cursive.
Yeah, no, we had some hiccups there with everything, right? So
Right.
when we're looking at this right here, they're already going to go ahead, take the Renekton out of there. I kind of talked about it earlier, but Rindo has been playing really, really solid in the top lane on carries and tanks. And actually, right there in that last game, there were a couple of ultimates that kind of went wide or whatever, but still, you saw how well when we did see it, right? Like he looked pretty good. The follow up was there, and now they're going to go ahead and take away the Syndra, followed up by the Cassiopeia on Oasis Dream side. I do like that they're actually pinching the mid lane pool. I would actually ban out Oriana as well because last time I checked, RGP, who is the mid laner and the highest ranked player on the squad, like he plays Syndra, Oriana, and Gwen really, really well. So if you want to pinch that mid lane pool, I would absolutely do it. And if I'm Solstice right here, I'm saying, hey, we got to make sure we pick Ori. So get RGP in this mid side, something that he's not comfortable playing. And oh, the Jinx is open and immediately locked in for Solstice right there. That's huge. Jinx is so big right now.
Yeah, I mean that is a pretty like obvious B1 pickup here. I think no one can deny the power of Jinx, right? Like you can build so much around her. She has so much mobility. She has so much mobility when she's able to get excited, and the ability that she's able to have to just really turn a team fight on its head is just so difficult to deny. And so Jinx is obviously a really strong B1 pickup, but it can be countered and it can be mitigated with the right choices here. Now, Oasis Dream, we got to see that beautiful Moonfall in game 1. We're going to get an opportunity to see if it will happen again. Diana, the first pickup. And now they have to see what they want to do to go up against this Jinx. And they're going to pick the Ezreal here. So with that being said, like with Ezreal being the ADC pick for OED, signaling to me that they recognize that Jinx isn't going to have the most powerful early game, and they're just going to be looking to just outmaneuver the Jinx and make it difficult for her to be able to land, the really high impact rockets that we expect and love to see her perform and have.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I feel like Ezreal as a champ can absolutely outduel Jinx early on, provided, you're not taking too much poke damage in the wave. So once Ezreal gets Sheen specifically, I feel like that spike on Ezreal is just like, it feels a little unfair because Ezreal can just keep on going and going and going. And look at this. There goes Nautilus, followed up by that Viego pick. So this is absolutely such a nice power pick in that jungle as well. So Cole is going to be going ahead, locking in this Viego right here, saying, hey, you know what? I'm a carry too now, guys. Like, we need to put on the carry pants. Like, somebody else has to step up in terms of damage. And Cole absolutely, with the Lilia in that last game, played really, really solidly from what we saw. And it just wasn't enough, unfortunately, out of the Lilia. And Ezreal Leo is going to be the lock in for Oasis Dream as we head into the second ban phase. I actually, I wasn't too fond of Ezreal Leo when I first kind of saw it, but the more I see it, the more I'm kind of on board with it. Like it's kind of a weird sort of thing, but the fact is, Leo can go through the wave, and Ezreal can almost always follow up with the arcane shift. So I do like what Oasis Dream has going on right here. And here's the other thing: I feel like they are. I feel like they are more strategic than maybe like we might let on just because it's like old. Like some of the picks that they're coming out with in response to this, I really like what they're doing, and I like that Solstice is going to go ahead and take away that Orin, which was such a big engage tool for Oasis Dream in game 1.
So once again, those top picks are going to get banned out here. Both solo laners are still on the table for Oasis Dream and for Team Ambition Solstice. But taking a look at your drafts right now, both teams, they're building towards some mid-game spikes. The Muramana on the Ezreal, the Rocket Belt, and the Nashor's Tooth on the Diana. You got the Kraken Slayer or whatever the Jinx wants to go for. Like there's so many build paths for the Jinx. She can be pretty versatile there, and the same thing with the Viego. So you do have a little bit of an earlier skewed fight for OED on the bot side because you are pairing the Leona with the Ezreal. I mean, the Leona itself is a prominent early game pick, especially in the laning phase, should be able to be just fine and harass the Nautilus and the Jinx from being able to get in. So a good gank from the Diana could really make things difficult. But now they pick up the
Mm.
Mordekaiser as well, which really signals to me, mid game power, mid game pressure, getting those crucial items and just working towards getting that snowball in. On the side of Team Ambition Solstice, however, they have so much engage right now. I want to see more engage coming through. I want to see more options to be able to keep up with that. And they're going to decide to go with the Silas. So another tool that they can use with some great ultimates that he gets to pick as well. The Death Realm, the Solar Flare, the True Shot Barrage, and Moonfall are all incredible ultimates for the Silas to be able to steal. So a really solid pickup there by Team Ambition Solstice.
Yeah, Thunder McBuster right here in this mid side, who's also the highest rated player for Solstice, comes through with the Silas blind and essentially saying, hey, you know what? I can carry this. Like, you have resets with the Viego. You have so much damage coming through with Silas, like Silas level 2, level 3 specifically, so much damage early on. I wonder if Oasis is going to go for like a Kiana or something like that, or like a Talon, because the fact is they have a lot of AP kind of already between the Diana and the Mordekaiser, and the Cho'Gath is already locked in for Solstice as well. So that kind of signals to me like, hey, we can just build MR, and okay, that's going to be an Aurelia in the mid
Yeah.
lane, it appears. So really spicy pick. I was going to actually point out that RGP does have a really interesting champ pool. So outside of those three that I mentioned earlier, between the Gwen, Ori, Syndra, RGP actually plays a lot of top laners. I was going to talk about that earlier, but we had so many technical difficulties that it was like, oh man, it's something that we can't really do. But when you're looking at Aurelia into Silas, this is kind of a weird matchup that you don't see too often. I would say if I'm Aurelia, I would be a little bit worried early on, because if you don't have your stacks, if you don't have that passive stacked up, and Silas is like level 3 or even level 4, something like that, he can absolutely all in you, and it can be a lot of burst damage that you're going to eat. It might not necessarily be a kill, but it would force you to back, and then that's how Silas picks up those small advantages to start snowballing. So it's a really interesting draft from both teams. I feel like there's power everywhere. Once again, a lot of engage, a lot of die from Oasis Dream, when with the Leo, with the Diana and the Aurelia, and then you have the follow up damage with the Ezreal, and then you have this Mordekaiser who is like kind of split push threat, but at the same time you're looking at it and you're saying, hey, you know what? Mordekaiser can just take somebody out of the picture, right? So whether it be Viego, Jinx, Silas, whoever is the biggest carry threat, the Mordekaiser can just isolate and say, remove him right there. So I really do like this, and for Baron setups as well. So I think the Mordekaiser is an interesting adaptation right there. And then on the side of Solstice, I mean, they got the scaling Jinx. They got probably the number one ADC in the game right now, followed up with the Nautilus, who's always a super strong support. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a kill lane with Jinx. Not it can be if you poke them down with rockets before a Nautilus Q, and then followed up with a Jinx traps chomper, similar to a Caitlyn. So it's going to be interesting with that. But I'm looking at this Viego. I'm looking at this Silas. 200 years, baby boy. Like, let's go. So if they start getting rolling, if they start getting some resets, stealing some big ultimates, like just causing so much disruption on the map, it can be really difficult for the side of Oasis Dream unless Aurelia is like super fed. And then the Cho'Gath, like I used to be a Cho'Gath one trick. I was like one of the first people to put Glacial Augment on him when Glacial Augment came out. Like, if you didn't know, like that was me who came out with that build. Nobody's gonna give me credit for that though. With Twin Shadows GOP, like that was all me. Check Mobile Fire. So yeah, I do like both of these team comps. And yeah, it's once again going to be about execution. And even though I did speak about the vision control, how Oasis really exploited it, I don't want to take anything away from Grand Fayette, right? Like, Grand Fayette had a great vision score after that game. It was just that Oasis had, Vandro just had a little bit more. And the way that they played around their vision setup was just a little bit cleaner.
And we'll have to see how that vision and how these team fights are going to be playing out. We've got some really good dive from Oasis Dream. We've got some good consistent damage coming through from Team Ambition Solstice. And let's find out who's going to be able to take game two. We're going to take a quick break before we get into the game, and we'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. Game number 2 in week 1 of the Aegis Guardians League. It's going to be Oasis Dream looking to finish the job and get themselves a 2-0 sweep against Team Ambition Solstice. We're looking to go for the 5-man death ball level 1 engage with the dredge line, which lands on to Whippy, who flashes away, uses the arcane shift, will not die. But that is a big summoner spell no longer available for him, Cursive, and a big level 1 for the side of Team Ambition Solstice.
Yeah, what a nice flash right there. And Ignite by Grand Fate, right? It goes right in, says, hey, you're going to be trading flashes or you're going to die right here. So Whippy immediately flashes and everything, has to actually spec into the Arcane Shift to also get away. So he's not going to have that Q early on, which is something that you do see often. But then again, Ezreal's fine with taking the Arcane Shift early as well. And when all that was going down, Black Eyed Peas goes ahead and says, hey, we're going to go ahead, set up a deep ward in that blue buff and everything. So they aren't going to spot this out just yet. But yeah, Cho'Gath looks like he took Arcane Comet. And when I see that, that just is so spicy right there. That's like saying, hey, like I want to make sure to poke you down. I've been seeing a lot of different builds on Cho'Gath. After these new runes, like I saw Lethal Tempo Cho'Gath, which was actually kind of a beast mode sort of rune late game, because like you get so much HP and you're just like bursting everybody down with just auto attacks. It's actually wicked interesting to see that.
He's a fun boy. He's a fun boy for sure. Oh man, you bring me back. You bring me back to the good old days. Cursive, I really don't know a lot about you though. Like, how long have you been playing League? It sounds like you've been playing for a while.
I've been playing since season 6-ish, maybe season 5.
Right. Oh, do you remember old Cho'Gath, like before the visual update? He was just insane. It was so fun to get him, to watch him, get really fed and just dominate in the mid game. Back when old Yorick was still a thing and all that fun stuff. It was great times for sure. But at the end of the day, though, like we still have a bunch of important things to note here. A nice stun coming in from random gold player, but the abscond does land to get that healing. We were talking about this in the pre-game, Cursive, where you and I think have a little bit of a disagreement about the mid lane. I think that Aurelia is going to be able to take this, but you tend to think that Thunder McBuster is going to have a really good time here.
Well, okay. So here's the thing, right? If I'm looking at this and okay,
got the stun. Thunder McBuster's in trouble. Gonna get ignited. Gonna flash. It's not gonna be enough. Ooh, random gold player. That was an outplay. But okay, continue what you were saying.
All right, what I was looking at it is, hey, if everybody is playing around power spikes at the right particular level, with experience, like I like Silas a lot, so maybe I'm biased. I don't know. The fact is, RGP right there just kind of styled on Thunder McBuster, right? So the Aurelia is online with 1 kill. What I was looking at was how aggro was Silas going to play at level 3 and even level 2. Like, are you just going to like let Aurelia just roll over you? Like when you're Silas mid, like you have to play it aggro. So that's what I was expecting when I saw it. The fact is, Thunder McBuster, I don't think he's very comfortable in this matchup. So yeah, random gold player absolutely just styled on it right there. And here goes Black Eyed P with the attempted gank on the bot side as we're talking about the mid lane.
Yeah, Crescent Strike lands, but no follow-up. Nice chompers there from Hitman to be able to survive play. Random gold player again gonna find the stun on the Thunder McBusters. The abscond abducts him through, but the healing is not gonna be enough just yet. No, it's random gold player taking the kill, and now Grand Fate in trouble as well. Black Eyed Peas is in the area, and so they're gonna have to run away from this one. Vandal looking for the Zenith Blade, gonna land it onto the Nautilus, and it's Love Hitman that ends up taking the death. Whippy still with heal out of that last level 1 play, is going to be able to get that arcane shift in the heal to be able to survive. The Black Eyed Peas wants it, and it's a double kill for Vandal as he lands his Zenith Blade, but we're not done yet. Grand Fate finding the dredge line, but then thinks better of it, walking away. A really solid early game here for Oasis Dream.
Yo, Oasis Dream coming up big after that game one win, and they said, you know what? We're not letting off. We're not giving up anything right here. They are just full on pedal to the floor right there. They're just all gas at the moment. So here goes this Mountain Dragon. Started out, Vandro is going to pick up a double kill on the bot side, by the way. Ignite kills one, and then he just kills the other. So nice job by this squad to go ahead and not give up on the plays. It looked like, maybe Whippy was going to fall right there. Didn't even have to burn flash. It wasn't necessarily up just yet, but burns the heal, gets out of there, picks up 2 assists as well. And yeah, Thunder McBuster is not having fun in this mid side. I don't think he's very comfortable into this Aurelia pick. And yeah, the Aurelia pick is looking so good. Random gold player RGP styling on this Aurelia pick in the mid lane. Already up 2 kills, up almost 10 CS also. So I don't know if anybody at home knows this, guys. If you're still here with us, thank you so much, because we had so many technical difficulties with the internet and everything. But yo, Aurelia on the scaling so big. She definitely is a hard scaler, and yeah, everything is coming up Aurelia, who just hits level 6, and look at this fighting going down.
Trying to be able to maybe find some more damage. Vandal is in the area to make it a 2v3 situation as Black Eyed Peas comes in for the assist, and so Thunder McBusters and Kolev think better of it. Kolev using Flash in that last play, and that's something that really differentiates my opinion of like a gold player, a platinum player, and a diamond player, is keeping track of summoner spells when they are up and when they are down. Because Thunder McBusters doesn't have flash for another 30 seconds or so, this would be the best time for Black Eyed Peas to try to go for a play maybe, but it's just going to be random gold player just saying, hey, I'm going to do it myself, and is going to be able to take the kill onto the Silas, going on a killing spree. But that it's so important when you don't when your opponent doesn't have summoner spells, you have to be able to capitalize on it. And right now we got to see it. Black Eyed Peas, random gold player, they've been able to exploit some of these summoner spells being on cooldown, and now it's looking pretty rough already. A 2.5k gold advantage, less than 8 minutes in, pretty substantial lead.
Yeah, RGP is just really abusing Thunder McBuster here. So what happened right there is Thunder McBuster was okay. Never mind. We're on the bot side fights. Look at this wraparound.
Whippy trying to be able to get away, and will be able to avoid the zap, but it's a flank. It's going to be the play. They're going to flash in for it. They're going to be able to get Whippy out of that, but it's going to be a nice moonfall to grab both of them. Black Eyed Peas will take the double kill in a 2-for-1 trade.
Yo, that was huge right there. So Black Eyed Peas had absolutely invaded with Vandal to pick up the red buff. They wrap around so creatively, and when they were doing that, Love Hitman and Grand Fate were trying to actually push it in and get a kill on Whippy. They see, hey, we're dead to rights right here. There's nowhere we can go. They get that kill onto Whippy as they die, but look at this. This wave is still frozen in the mid lane. This is what I was going to talk about, how Thunder McBuster died on that last go-round. So when we're looking at RGP right here, freezing this wave so hard on Thunder McBuster, and he's gonna probably die again if that stun lands. So if you're Thunder McBuster right here, when you're already behind, you can't stay in this lane. Either A, you need to have your jungler come up, help you break this freeze. Maybe you guys can go for something together into like an invade or something like that. Or B, you need to be roaming. You can't stay here anymore. Look at this, Aurelia, almost 2 levels up. Such a big bounty already. You're up 30 CS. You cannot stay, Thunder McBuster. And look at the wraparound by Vandal on this Leo coming all the way from base just to make this happen. And it looks like Cole is here just to try to protect Thunder McBuster, who is struggling so hard. And they did a lane swap as well. So this looks like they're going to try to position for this Rift Herald. And okay, Death Realm.
All right, Hitman now going to be in trouble in the death realm, but he is in a 2v1 situation now. Love Hitman will be able to survive it. But now Rindo Kobayashi trying to be able to pick up the kill, can't get it, uses flash, but it's not going to be enough. The Zenith Blade lands onto Kolev, and so Black Eyed Peas is going to go in, gets the smite, and gets the kill on to the Blue Sentinel. If we can take a look at the gold differential right now on both teams, you've said it right, Curse, of like this is a lost lane for Thunder McBusters. The gold lead now at a 1,700 gold advantage for the side of random gold player and this Aurelia. 3,900 to 2,300 gold leads in the jungle as well. So you're really trying to play, if you're if you're Oasis Dream around that. But at this point, they just want to, if you're Team Ambition Solstice, you still want to try to go in the dredge line. You're going to be able to get the kill, or going to be able to get the hook, but it's not going to be enough. Black Eyed Peas will flash away after being able to get the Moonfall, which picks up the kill onto Grand Fate, a fight that they did not have to take.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were just super opportunistic right there, and this is really starting to escalate. It's already escalated right here. It's party mid lane. Everybody's invited. Let's go ahead and abuse Thunder McBuster right here. Let's make sure that this guy has nightmares about us. That's what Oasis Dream is saying right here. RGP has absolutely taken over this game. 4-0-4 at 10 minutes. Disgusting. And look at this. He's still not done pushing this in. And Thunder McBuster, just so you know, I know you do have that stolen solar flare, but RGP can still absolutely dive you with this ignite right here. So you need to be really careful. And again, it's just going to get turned around.
All right, it's going to be the Zenith Blade on to Grand Fate into the layered CC. Solar Flare will land to be defensively, but now it is a 2v3 situation. Random Gold Player is going to land the Vanguard's Edge. Will it be enough to pick up the kill on Grand Fate? It is into the Heartbreaker, but it's not going to be enough as Black Eyed Peas comes in and is on a killing spree. Disaster for Team Ambition Solstice.
Oh man, Team Ambitious Solstice is not having a good day today. It is only week 1, so shake it off. There's still a lot of game left. There's still a lot of season left. Maybe they can bounce back from this. Look at this. Jinx absolutely has to roam up just to try to help right here. So this is basically a tremendous lost lane for the mid side. And they're going to go ahead and transition this into a Cloud Dragon as well. Look at this. RGP has no mana, but it doesn't matter because Thunder McBuster doesn't either. Somehow he lived through all that, trying to pick up some experience because he already knows, hey, I'm so far behind. Even if I could back right here, I can't afford to. I need to stay to try to pick up this wave. Luckily, RGP wasn't, he didn't have mana. I already burned everything in that last rendition, that last fight. So they're still looking for stuff down here. They had already taken that Rift Herald in the top side, roam down to the bot side now from mid lane, and look at this. They're looking to make a dive happen onto this Jinx Nautilus, and if I'm Jinx Naut, I would probably just back up right here because something is fishy.
Yeah, they are being really aggressive. Grand Fate is in the brush. They could try to go for it if they wanted to. They'll drop the Chompers, but with Black Eyed Peas in the area and the Rift Herald, they might be looking to go for it, and they will. Another going wide dredge line on a stationary target. Black Eyed Peas going to be able to drop the Rift Herald. A little bit of a disappointing drop, unfortunately, only getting the 2 guaranteed turret plates that you get from the headbutt. Nothing more out of that play, but the goal is to just continue to starve out Love Hitman and continue to scare them for being able to get to that scaling point. The longer that the game goes on, the more powerful the Jinx becomes, but if you shut down the Jinx, you shut down one of the major win conditions that Team Ambition Solstice has. Thunder McBusters is just so far behind right now that he's going to have to just continue to try to find whatever, utility ultimate that he can to be able to keep up with that play. But look at Random Gold Player just dropping these auto attacks and chunking down Thunder McBusters. That is the power of a 5-0-1 Aurelia with Blade of the Ruined King. Vanguard's Edge is going to land. Thunder McBusters is in trouble for it, but they decide not to go for it. He backs off and instead just continues to just lay down the law in this mid lane.
Yeah, that was an interesting ultimate right there. It looked like he wanted to go for it. Okay, everybody's here in the mid side.
Trying to be able to find something. The Vanguard's Edge misses by Thunder McBusters, and now Random Gold Player flashing away. The Heartbreaker is going to come in. A lot of damage. The Moonfall is coming through, but it's Black Eyed Peas now all alone as Kolev is able to get the resets and the shutdown onto Black Eyed Peas as well. That is exactly what Team Ambition Solstice needed. That is going to be 900 plus 450, 1,300 gold for Thunder McBusters, or I'm sorry, not for Thunder McBusters, but for Kolev out of that last fight. That brings him into the lead gold-wise against his Diana counterpart, Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, I mean, they needed that so big. Like, Cole comes through and says, hey, you know what? I've been visiting mid lane a lot, but we got to pay attention to this. Okay, and we're not done. Look at this, gank by Nautilus.
It's gonna land, but Rainbow Kodayashi does still have a lot of health and a lot of resistances. We'll just be able to back away from that one.
Yeah, no, super creative gank right there. Nautilus comes all the way up from the bot side. And yeah, if I'm Silas right here, if I'm anybody on the side of TA Solstice, I'm saying, guys, we need Grievous Runes right away, because RGP has that board completed. And I mean, Aurelia already has so much passive healing. And yeah, you have to be able to cut that down. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to pay a tax at this point. You have to say, you know what, I need to be able to cut down on the healing, because that's going to be the thing. That's going to be the reason why we actually win. And okay, they're trading a lot in the mid side. I think they're going to try to dive this.
Maybe. We've got Rift Herald spawning in a little bit of time, less than a minute for that to spawn. So that's the next big neutral objective. But Whippy's going to get rooted thanks to Grand Fate. Gets hit by the dredge line as well, but will be able to walk away. However, random gold player and now Vandal looking to be able to get the kill. They're going to be able to find the solar flare. Love Hitman is in trouble, but it's not going to be enough just yet. Gold player will take the kill, but he will die. The stun is going to land, and Grand Fate walk away for the time being, making it a 1-for-1 play, but in favor of this Team Ambition Solstice squad. As Moonfall lands, Black Eyed Peas will fall, and Kolev is on a killing spree.
Yo, Cole, nice job right there, getting another kill on Black Eyed Peas. Black Eyed Peas had been invading Cole from the very start. Like, they took away the blue buff, set up deep vision around the red, took the red eventually. You see right now on the side of TA Solstice, you see how much vision Oasis Dream has in that bot side quadrant as well. And look at the way that they wrapped around. Just the way that they're doing everything on this or on this mid side is so big to help Thunder McBuster in general. Random gold player kind of went a little too deep right there, got rooted up under the tower, ends up dropping right there. Now 6-2-1, still up a lot of CS, still up a lot of items in general. Thunder McBuster completes his mythic item. Now I'm going to be looking at those Grievous Runes items, right? Like, you got to be able to get something to cut down on the healing. This dragon, is that going to be that Infernal Soul coming up just now? It's spawning, and everybody is just pinging it down, pinging it down. We'll see who wants this the most. When you're looking at, a 3K gold advantage on the side. Okay, Hook lands. We might get a fight here.
Gold player going to be able to get the stun onto Grand Fate. The dredge line not really doing much more after that. Excuse me. We still have the Infernal Drake live, but now Rimbo Kodayashi has the Death Realm and is going to be able to go up against Thunder McBusters, trying to be able to pick up the kill. He's got the shielding, he's got the damage. Will he be able to finish the job? The answer is yes. Rindo Koyashi will get it, but he does fall out. Black Eyed Peas is now extremely low and will die. However, the damage from random gold player is there, as Kolev will fall to Whippy. The True Shot Barrage will get some damage onto Feathers and Fur, but he will not fall. All in all, it is a 2-for-1 trade. Black Eyed Peas falls, but it's your mid lane and your jungler falling for Team Ambition Solstice, and this is going to be Soul Point for Oasis Dream.
Yeah, already. Like, this is their prize right here, and it is going to be an Infernal Soul. Love it. Like, you know, if you're the side of Oasis Dream, you're like, yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. We got a fed Aurelia. We got, a semi-fed Diana, right? Like, not super fed. Kind of lost the lead, but yeah, okay, Flash in the mid side.
A nice dredge line there from Grand Fate to be able to avoid the Zenith blade from Love Hitman, and now random gold player is in trouble. He's slowed, he's rooted, he's tooted, and now he's going to go back to Fountain. Great play there by Grand Fate to keep him alive. Vandal now in trouble. Moonfall's going to land on to Love Hitman, who is now extremely low, but it was a bait as Thunder McBusters picks up the kill, not before Hitman falling. Vandal might have to run even further behind, and will do so, as we get to see some sparks of life for this mid-game power spike that Team Ambition Solstice has.
Yo, Solstice is absolutely trying to come back right here. They've absolutely cut this lead down. Now it is only 3K. I believe it was up to 5K at one point. So they've cut this lead down. Unfortunately, Love's Hitman didn't get that kill. That would have been so big for Love Hitman, I feel like. But yeah, it was still a kill that they got, and then the tier 1 as well. So this is so big, because it says, hey, you know what? Oasis Dream, like, you're not going to be able to rickroll us. We are absolutely still in this game. You haven't demoralized us to the point where we're just going to give up and try to F up. Like, this is such a good mental coming out from the side of Solstice right here. And I like what Vandal did right there. Says, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and set this up for this hero. Pings are already going down, and I love this right here. When you're snowballing, when you're ahead, I know the second hero doesn't give you like that plate gold or whatever, but it is such a big siege tool early. Like if you get down to tier 2 and you're able to push down inhibs that early with this Rift Hero, it can be such a big game changer for your squad. So I do like what they're doing right here on the side of Oasis Dream. They're always saying, hey, what's the major objective that we can take? We don't fight for no reason, right? Like if we're fighting, we want to be able to take a major objective up off of the win. And I like what we're seeing right here.
Interestingly enough, though, it's Vandrel that takes the Rift Herald and not going to be Black Eyed Peas, or, I would have preferred maybe random gold player taking it to be able to get the extra gold, but unfortunately not going to be the case. Grand Fate does have Flash. He could maybe go in for this dredge line. It's a four-hand push into the mid lane. True Shot Barrage is going to land to get those minions really low. Black Eyed Peas is waiting for Vandrel. Vandrel's going to be able to get a nice ultimate there, but Black Eyed Peas is not close enough just yet. He's trying to get the flash in. He will be able to get the Moonfall onto 3 and will pick up the double kill, looking for more as we get Kolab trying to be able to get the resets. We'll get the Heartbreaker, gets the double kill onto Black Eyed Peas and gets another reset. The Heartbreaker's coming in onto Whippy. Kolab is very low and will fall. However, we've got Rindo Kobayashi with the extra stats of Thunder McBusters in the Death Realm to take on Feathers and Fur. And in a 4v5 game, it is an ace for Oasis Dream.
Yo, Oasis Dream came up big right there. So many fights, so many re-engages. Look at that, RGP, not even there, pushing down this bot side. That was so crazy. And it almost looked like Cole on this Viego had the resets, had that prowess to be able to take over that fight, take over that whole thing, and then they would be able to make something happen off of the back of that. Unfortunately, just a little too far behind, right? Like they lost a little too hard in those first 10 minutes, and now Mordekaiser's invading in your jungle, possibly taking your blue buff away as well. So this is going to help the Mordekaiser even more. So we're looking at what? Gold bounties on the board, 401, 550 gold bounty. And then we got the Black Eyed Peas right here on this Diana pick. So much burst damage. Like that was such a nasty wombo combo with Diana and Leona. I think in the lore, like they don't like each other or something, but they play so well together between that Moonfall and Solar Flare. So I like what we're seeing right here on this side of Oasis Dream. But Solstice, I feel like they're not done. Like that was definitely a tough one to swallow. Like maybe they have a little bit more fight in them. Like we saw that tenacity after that first loss, that after that first major team fight that happened, and now maybe they have a little bit more in the tank because the Baron is up. Maybe you can absolutely find a pick, send 4 people when you see random gold player. Maybe you can kill RGP and immediately turn to Baron and start something up that way. That's what I would probably think about doing, but we'll see how they handle this because right now, when we're looking at Oasis Dream, they just control this vision so well, and the dragon is going to be spawning in 30 minutes, and that's going to be the next point of contest.
Yeah, 30 seconds until this Infernal Drake spawns. It is Infernal Soul. If they are able to get it, Grand Fate will be overextended and will die for his efforts. That is big for Oasis Dream. Team Ambition Solstice might just have to seed this Dragon Soul, but I can tell you folks, a 22-minute soul is pretty big as the Solar Flare lands. Vandrel is just able to obliterate Kolab with the extra layered CC. Moonfall going to land. Thunder McBuster is going to go golden as well, but just doesn't have the AP right now and will fall as well. That is most certainly the Infernal Dragon Soul for Oasis Dream. Remember, the AoE damage that it provides is just going to continue to add even more poke power for Whippy on this Ezreal. Just the extra damage that it provides is huge. And I got to tell you, Cursive, this is looking like a GGWP moment here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Oasis Dream just bringing out that A game week 1, day 1. They said, hey, we're going to make sure that we style on everybody. That way they know, hey, we're coming for you, right? Like when you see us on that schedule, you have something to fear. And this is a statement game being put on by Oasis Dream right here into this TA Solstice squad. And Nautilus, hello? You're a support. You're 5 levels down. That was interesting that he just went for that hook right there.
Uh-oh, Kolab is now the target and will just die if he doesn't have Flash, which he does use. Now, random gold player just looking to be able to stay alive will Flash in. Kolab gonna be trying to pick up the kill, but cannot do so. Feathers and Fur there quickly enough to be able to secure that kill. However, it was all a bait. It was all a ruse, Cursive, as the rest of Oasis Dream picks up Baron Nashor. Now with Infernal Soul and Baron on their team, they can look to reset and start this death march.
Ooh, Solstice. Man, for a second there, it looked like they had something right, and then Oasis Dream was just like, hey, you know what? RGP was just a decoy. Like, oh, we were going after that Baron. So that was kind of something that I had noticed that I was talking about. Where hey, they are always looking for major objectives. They're always making sure that they're controlling these objectives with one, deep vision, and two, making sure they're not being careless with their fights. Well, in lane phase, maybe they were a little bit, but outside of lane phase, I like what we're seeing out of this Oasis Dream Squad. And now they have that Baron push. They're grouping up. It looks like they are going for that 1-3-1 that you were talking about earlier. And we'll see how much they can get done with this. Because, hey, you know what? If they can absolutely crack down some inhib towers or 2 or 3, like it is going to be it's so tough for Solstice to do anything. I mean, Jinx is doing her best to try to do something. But at this point, it's like, man, like this Aurelia is just so far ahead. I mean, do you have anything left in the tank, Solstice? This is what we're asking ourselves here. We appreciate seeing you. Like maybe you guys have something left. Maybe Chogaf's got something up his sleeve, but it's looking pretty dire for this TA Solstice squad.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to get something here. Black Eyed Peas in trouble, but Rindo Kobayashi is going to come in for the reinforcements. The Moonfall is going to land into the damage as we get the Death Realm, and Black Eyed Peas will get the kill on to Grand Fate, but it is a 1-for-1, make it a 2-for-1 as Kolev dies in the Death Realm to Rindo. Vandal will land the side of that solar flare on Feathers and Fur, and there's the third death. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Thunder McBuster is looking to do what he can against a 2-level advantage Aurelia. Random gold player has the extra healing, now drops the Vanguard's Edge, now trying to be able to pick up the kill as Thunder McBusters goes golden. He'll be able to flash away. It will end up being a kill for Thunder McBusters. That is big for the pushing power of Oasis Dream now falling. They will not be able to get any of the inhibitors down, but they are now looking to be able to get this inner tower down in the mid lane. They should be able to get it with the empowered minions. That is, I think, inevitable here. Yes, they will be able to get it, but unfortunately, a little bit of miscommunication there, a little bit of miscalculation from random goal players is going to mean that this game stays alive for Team Ambition Solstice for a little while longer.
Yeah, I gotta say, RGP on this Aurelia, right? So, let's see how to say this. So, he did such a great job in lane, getting fed early on, 601 early on, what, 10 minutes in, 12 minutes in, he was 601. Look at this. RGP is now 6-5-4. So, that means he's died 5 times without getting anything. He actually, you know what? He's gotten 3 assists. So, he's died 5 times, no kills, 3 assists in 10 minutes. So, that's not good. That's not a great stat to have. If you're looking at this. So maybe RGP is playing a little bit too loose right now, although I will say it took basically everything that Thunder McBusters had right there to try to kill that dive by RGP, but he did absolutely do it, right? It took Zhonya's, it took Flash, it took Ignite, and it took the tower to actually win that fight, but he won it. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And RGP, if I'm you right now, I might be a little upset with myself. I might be saying like, hey, am I playing too loose? Like, what's going on? Like, how did I just blow this huge lead that I have? Because when we're looking at Thunder McBusters, I mean, he's 366. Like, that's not such a huge jump. The biggest discrepancy is the CS. I mean, when we're looking at what 120 CS difference between RGP and Thunder McBusters, that's crazy. So that's 2 games in a row right now where Oasis Dream has had just I want to say superior CS in that mid side. Bot side, it's still in the favor of Love Hitman out farming, but I mean, then again, you're picking something like a Jinx who just farms better overall. But Whippy is still getting it done. Nice true shots, barrage by it. And okay, so pings are going down on this Elder Dragon, and look at this. Vandal is so good on this vision control, spots out everything, so they know exactly where everyone is. It's going to get cleared out. So if I'm anybody on the side of Oasis Dream, I'm saying, hey, okay, flanks. They got the flank. Look at Aurelia. Look at Aurelia on the wraparound.
They're trying to get it. They will find the stun into the Moonfall. The damage is there, but it's not quite anyone getting killed just yet. The death will through as we get Love Hitman being able to get the rocket and the kill on to random gold player. However, Thunder McBusters able to get the kill on to random gold player as well. Unfortunately, that is a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Oasis Dream. We've got the Elder Drake spawning in less 15 seconds. Kolev is still alive, but it looks like they're looking to go for the inhibitor instead. They're gonna find the leap onto Kolev, the dragon. Now Rimbo Kobayashi 9-0-3 is legendary. 4 members of Team Ambition Solstice are dead. The inhibitor will be soon to fall. The Elder Drake is up, but they might not even need to. They might even not want, maybe not even want to go for that right now. They might just want to go for the extra tower. No, they're gonna back off. So Elder Drake is alive. Koleb is down for another 20 seconds here, Cursive. And so, while this game is lasting a little bit longer than I think Oasis Dream wanted to go for, they are now looking to finish the job here with this Elder Drake.
Yeah, Cole flew a little too close to the sun right there. Walked up to that tower as everybody's there, gets hooked in, dies right there. Elder started out, Vision is going down, they absolutely know. And hey, if they go in right here, somebody's gonna die.
All right, they cannot find it. It will be Black Eyed Peas getting the smite. The rocket landed, but it was just a little bit too late there. Feathers and Fur did not have flash, and it ends up resulting in the Elder Drake going onto all 5 members of Oasis Dream. And now this is another, another point of contention when you're talking about gold platinum level players is how are you able to close games out? You've got all the advantages under the sun. Infernal Soul, Elder Drake, Baron is up. You've got map control. You've got an inhibitor down in the bot lane. You've got to be able to finish the job here. A random gold player maybe in trouble. He's going to try to get away. Let's see if he can. He'll get the stun. This is so powerful. Random gold player going to drop the Vanguard's Edge. He's got the damage from the Infernal Drake, and he'll take the kill. We got the teleport from Rindo Kobayashi, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. Yes, it will. But that is one member going down. Cursive, I gotta ask you, now with Grand Fate dead, what does Oasis Dream decide to go for? Do they need to go for the mid lane, or do they go for Baron? I don't think we even get the question here. It looks like they're just trying to go for the mid lane. Unfortunately, we don't get that question answered.
Yeah, no, they're just trying to brute force it down right here. Honestly, what I was expecting them to do was Baron, but yeah, they're just going for it all the way. They're saying, hey, let's try to pat the KDA, and they're going for it.
We got the Death Realm. Thunder McBusters will die to the Elder Drake. And now Rindo is going to be legendary out of that play. We're getting the push from random gold player in the top lane. Not going to be with the rest of the team in the mid lane to pick that inhibitor turret down. But we'll be pushing up with minions in the top lane now to pick up the last outer structure of this base. And it is looking like this is the beginning of the end. A 2-0 victory for Oasis Dream is on the horizon. They're going to try for one final fight. The Dredron is coming through, but the Elder Drake is, I think, just way too strong. The Moonfall is going to land on 3 Black Eyed Peas will fall, but now the Elder Drake is doing its damage. A nice knockup, however. Going to be able to keep this fight going a little while longer. Koleb's going to get the resets, but it won't be enough. 4 members of Team Ambition Solstice are dead. Love Hitman is trying to do what he can. Thunder McBusters is back online. And so they actually keep the defense up, Cursive. All inhibitors are down, but Nexus stays alive.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually walking over to this Baron, gonna try to start that up, and that's crazy how that fight went. And if I'm Solstice right there, I mean, you can't honor the turrets, but that's once again the turrets helping them out so big, because I mean, it looked like they were dead to rights even under the tower. So this Baron should be going down right here, and I mean, they have everything on the side of Oasis Dream. They're looking really solid with their objective control. Understanding, hey, you know what? Like we kind of bit off a little bit more than we could chew right there. Like we both me and you both thought like, hey, they were gonna go for the Baron. They said no, we're not gonna do that. And I think they realized right there when they almost got wiped, like, hey, you know what, guys? We should just go for the Baron. Okay, Ezreal might be in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to get stunned, but Thunder McBusters maybe biting off a little bit more than he can chew. Nice dodge of the True Shot Barrage. Whippy going to be able to walk away. Doesn't land the Mystic Shot. Doesn't land the damage, but he does get that Mystic Shot. Whippy finding the kill onto Thunder McBusters, making it a 4v5 for the next 45 seconds.
Yo, he's dodging, he's dipping, he's ducking, he's dodging. Whippy got it. What's good? And yo, this Ezreal pick looking so clean right there. 6-2-14 with that Sherelda's Grudge. That Q that he hit right there was so big to actually slow down the momentum that Thunder McBusters had, because he was looking for him. He was like, man, I'm gonna chase you down right here. 500 gold bounty right there. And yeah, the Ezreal pick didn't pop off early on. That was all RGP. But when you see this mid game, this late game, the Ezreal is absolutely a factor. And now, hey, this is last stand territory right here for the side of Solstice. You have to do something. You stopped it once. Can you stop it again?
All right, we've got Vanguard's Edge still online for man and gold player. Moonfall is on the line as well. No Kobayashi going to be able to get the Death Realm onto somebody, but will it be enough? Vanguard's Edge misses from Thunder McBusters, and the Moonfall drops. But Kolev is trying to get the resets, going to go golden, but it won't be enough. The wallet is dropped, the hammer is smashed, and it's a 2-0 victory in this series for Oasis Dream. Team Ambition Solstice will fall. It took 34 minutes, but they did finish the job, and they take the win.
Oh man. Oasis Dream looking so good right there. And I gotta say, RGP on this Aurelia, you talked about it, like, you looked really good. I gotta say that Thunder McBusters didn't look too comfortable into this matchup. So they definitely, like, I talked about this before we went into game two. I felt like Oasis Dream, like, they have like a really good decision making. They have really good strategy that they had going on. So I'm wondering, hey, did they actually identify this going into this pregame matchup? Did they say, hey, you know what? If we pick Aurelia right here, like, this is going to be good because this guy doesn't know this matchup. And it seemed like it worked really well. RGP started getting a little loose right there, but hey, it was already too big of a lead. Like, it was almost like you could do no wrong at that point. So Oasis Dream looked really solid in this game too, looked really solid in game one, each time having a lot of objective control, really solid macro rotations, vision control. If I'm looking at this team going forward, if I'm playing them next week after, I'm saying, guys, we got to make sure that, we prep. We got to make sure that we are on our A game controlling vision, because that was part of the reason why Oasis was always in the right place at the right time. Vandro was always making sure to set up vision, clear out vision, and absolutely everybody else on the team was involved in this vision game as well. There was always pink wards, multiple pink wards all around objectives. And this is something that is hyper impressive when we're looking at a gold to a plat league, where people are absolutely investing in vision and recognizing, hey, if we have superior vision control, that means we can absolutely make better rotations as well. And last point that I'm going to make before I turn it over to you, Moose, is that last push that we saw right there. Did you see how that they had the mid and the top side synced up together right there with the Aurelia and that push between the other three and the Mord at the bottom? Like, such a solid split push right there. It's so tough to teach people how to sync up waves when you're getting a siege like that. And it was so nice seeing that. And that was gold right there, right? So if you're seeing people in higher elo struggling with it, just be like, hey, you know what? I just saw these gold players do it. Like, you can do it. It just takes coordination.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is going to be a pretty good and pretty great win there on the side of Oasis Dream. Congratulations to them. Like you said, it is a 2-0 win in terms of their series against Team Ambition Solstice, which means that they win week one and they're going to be in the top 50% of teams because they will have that 1-0 victory under their belt. So congratulations to them. I'm going to get confirmation from SEMA. While we do that, though, I want to give a quick shout out to SEMA and to Samster to be able to help us with those production woes that we've had throughout today's games. There were definitely some difficulties. Not anyone's fault. Just, technology can be back and forth. But regardless of that, I think we're going to see if we're going to try to do an interview really quick. We're going to take a quick break, see if we can get somebody on the mic to talk to them about their win for Oasis Dream. We'll be right back to let you know what we decide to do, and we'll be back before you know it.
Everybody, panic! Hold on. I'm about to say something really cool. 3, 41, 9, and lift off! No one dies screaming without me. I feel like I forgot to shoot something. You're starting to bore me. She's such a loser, always ready to cry. Aw, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Aegis Guardians. Week 1 stream has reached its conclusion with a 2-0 victory for Oasis Dream. Before we go any further, though, before we end the broadcast, we got to talk to the man, the myth, the random gold player from Oasis Dream. We've got him dragged up here for a post-game interview. RGP, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Oh, we're doing well. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
First thing on everybody's mind, at least on my mind, is how comfortable are you with Aurelia, and how many millions of mastery points do you have on the champion?
Yeah, I've played quite a bit of Aurelia, but I think honestly, I just asked my team when we were on red side for counterpick, and I really like the Aurelia v Silas matchup, and I think I probably played him more than the Silas player on TA, so I think I was a little more comfortable with the matchup itself.
For sure, for sure. So, I mean, with that being said, you had a really solid early game there and really helped carry your team into a pretty dominant game to win. I mean, I want to bring it back to game 1, however. 47 minutes. I know that there were difficulties with some of the players and having difficulties with like connections and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but is it are you tense in comms like when it hits that 40-minute mark, or are you still feeling confident in your ability to close out the game?
Yeah, I'll be honest, like our team didn't scrim much going into this. We were like kind of just put together last minute. So I think
Hmm.
I wasn't like fully sure we are gonna be able to close that game out. I'll be honest. I thought they were like slowly coming back into it, but I don't know. I think I have some really good teammates, and I'm glad we were able to close that out.
Hey, how are you? This is Cursive here. I just want to say nice job on that Aurelia right there. The Syndra was hella clean too. So I just want to ask you, when we're looking at how you guys played and everything, how quick you were to pounce on the mistakes that this TA Solstice squad made. Like, who is the person that was essentially dictating, hey, we need to go in right here, or was it just like one of those things where somebody tossed out ability at land and you guys just kind of reactively just went in?
Yeah, I think our entire team does a good job around shot calling, like that kind of stuff in the mid game. I think if one of us goes like, "Hey, if you like," for example, in the game 1, I think when we had Nautilus, was it in game 1, where we
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, if you land a hook here or whatever, it's really good," and then we'll all just like kind of jump on that if the hook lands. Yeah, something like that.
And another question, like I just want to say, your guys' vision control was like really, really solid. Like game 1, it seemed like everybody was way invested in vision. Game 2, it wasn't quite as dominant from you guys, but it was still like really, really good. Like, do all you guys like kind of talk about this? Like vision control and like gold plat isn't usually something that a lot of players necessarily invest a lot of time or emotions into anything really. So, who is the person who like? Does anybody like tell you guys where to drop the wards, or do you just like kind of already know?
Mm, I don't believe a single call about like where to drop wards were made
Nice.
in the first game. We kind of the game kind of played out where we kind of started like throwing when they were coming back,
Hmm.
and like the team fights were just really hard to play because my Malphite was buying so much space, and like at least I know me myself weren't really able to get priority targeting onto like their carries. So oftentimes in the team fights, because as soon as Malphite ulted in, I was just hitting the Malphite. So I kind of just said, hey, we got to like kind of start the engages in choke points and whatnot and not let Malphite start them. So, and because of that, we wanted to set up vision first around objectives and such so we can get priority on that. So we can dictate kind of the pacing of the fights.
For sure, for sure. So I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but I do have a couple of rapid fire questions I like to ask my players. Nothing too serious, just some fun end interview questions. First one for you: if meta didn't matter, what is your dream composition, random gold player?
Oh, God. You're really putting me on the spot here. If meta doesn't matter, okay. I don't know, probably like a. I really like Mordekaiser top. I think he's tanky, does a lot of damage. Jungle, probably something aggressive like Rek'Sai's or Jinzhao, something like that. Mid, probably Syndra. Um, Bot lane, I think Kai'Sa's a lot of fun to play. So Kai'Sa and probably something like Nautilus or Leona support.
Heck yeah, you got a lot of scaling on that composition. I'm worried at the 20-minute mark, your Baron play is going to be too strong, especially with that Rek'Sai. Oh man, yeah, that'd be really cool to watch. That'd be great. Second question for you. What's your what's your favorite snack right now, man?
Uh, Snack, I enjoy candy a lot, so I probably like
Candies?
the candy. Yeah,
Are you like sweets, sweet or sour?
sour. I love
Sour.
sour stuff. Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. And then last big question for you. Any shout outs or anything that you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, I think my team just played like my entire team just played really well today. So just a big shout out to my team. I think they definitely uh did really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, yeah, congratulations on your 2-0 victory. Oasis Dream now 1-0 in the Aegis Defenders League. We'll see how you guys play and perform for the rest of the split, but so far riding high, and thanks for stopping by and giving us this post-game interview.
Thank you.
Yeah, and with that being said, Cursive, any final thoughts with week 1 in the books?
Yeah, I just want to say, everybody, thank you so much for sticking with us after all the technical difficulties. And if you stuck around, you got to see Oasis Dream just put on a nice little show there.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. A really great series. Congratulations again to Oasis Dream. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of the broadcast. I do expect that there will be a host, or we'll be hosting another stream somewhere. I don't know who. It'll be a surprise for both you
It'll
and
be
me.
me.
Oh, it will be you. Great.
Yeah, Monday.
That's what's up.
ABL, tune in, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be what? Diamond to, I want to say Grandmaster right there. Monday, come back. Yeah.
It'll be really fun for sure. But in the meantime, on behalf of all of our players in the Aegis Guardians League, Cursive, our producers, Seema, Samter, Ivar, everyone at the Aegis League, and the staff and the community is there, myself, Moose, thank you guys all so much for watching. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you guys all next week.